What's up, movie nerds? It's your girl, CC, and let's get candid about Jurassic World Rebirth. Jurassic World Rebirth was not a bad movie. I liked it. It definitely felt more localized than the last 3 Jurassic World movies, which I do appreciate. I think the Jurassic movies work better when they're in a smaller scale, you know? And you know what? I think I kind of liked it a little more than the last 3 Jurassic Worlds because it felt more like the original Jurassic Park.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
I will say though, the first Jurassic World was really good. To be honest, I could have done without the addition of the boyfriend in the small family. I mean, maybe the family didn't need to be there at all, but I thought the family was nice, I just didn't care for the boyfriend. But you know, them being there didn't detract from the movie. Except for the boyfriend. He did detract from it. He did kind of make it worse. There are also a few things that I had questions for, but we'll get into that. All in all, I really enjoyed this movie because frankly, I like the Jurassic movies.
I think she's neat.
I mean, it's like the Fast and Furious movies. You'll never reach the amazingness of the first movie, but the subsequent movies are a fun ride. And you know what? I would watch it again just to enjoy it fully without having to take notes. But that's just my initial review of the movie. Keep on watching to see the full review and whether or not you want to give this movie a shot. There will be spoilers in the reasons for the rating.
You have been warned.
And let's get this party started.
I mean, really, let's do this, mother!
First up is acting, which I give a 7 out of 10. I like the acting because for a Jurassic movie, it really did hit those spots. It was campy, it was nice. I think everyone had the right idea with all the dinosaurs and stuff. I don't think anything was really out of place. Also, the characters seemed different enough, but also very cohesive with each other and with this world. Granted, some acting could have been better here and there, but overall, it was good.
Life finds a way.
Now for the story and script, which I give a 6 out of 10. I think this is where the movie faltered a bit. Not a lot, mind you, but if we're looking at one specific place, this is kind of what hurt the movie. First, let's get this out of the way. It is a Jurassic movie, so you are going to get the suspense, the mayhem, the dinosaurs, the carnage, all that good stuff. And it really was all good stuff. I did enjoy it. I liked the way it flowed, and I think the reasoning for why we were in this moment was good. It felt new. But I think there were 2 major issues and a couple of nitpicks that we need to talk about. First major point is that the movie was a little slow to the action. Not a whole bunch, but it was noticeable. I mean, honestly, I could have used more suspense, which is saying a lot coming from me because I am not a horror girly.
Terror, you know, that keeps you on the edge of your seat.
But I did want to feel a little bit more nervous, yeah? And the second major point, the boyfriend. Just the whole character of the boyfriend. He was a cheap comedic character in the case that he brought a little too much levity to a situation that, you know, needed the more suspense. I think that's why there wasn't as much suspense and terror as I wanted there to be because of him.
I hate you.
It was a little much. And if you're gonna bring a comedic character into the mix, at least make the jokes good. They were kinda lame. Like, a lot lame, actually. Not to mention that we had to sit through like a whole 1 or 2 minutes of this guy urinating on screen. Which, I know it was put in for comedic effect, but it ain't funny. I didn't care for it in the reboot of Jumanji, and I don't care for it now.
So, how do we do this?
The only thing that made the bit in Jumanji better was that you didn't actually have to listen to the urination. Okay, so this is an addendum, but apparently I just blacked out during that scene for Jumanji because you do actually hear it. It's just not for as long as they did it in Jurassic World Rebirth, and it's not as loud. In Jurassic World Rebirth, it was just so incredibly noticeable that it was just awful. Also, I'm almost 100% positive that relieving yourself doesn't work like it did in the movie. You can't just stop urinating midway. It just doesn't happen. But apparently in this movie it does. He stopped halfway through because some dinosaurs were fighting in the background, and then he just starts up again, which is supposed to be the comedic thing. But it doesn't make sense. And it's disgusting.
Ew.
Now, the nitpicks are like, why would these people try to create a bigger, badder carnivore dinosaur when literally 6 movies beforehand shows you exactly why you don't want to do that? I mean, I understand having to create new dinosaurs because people want bigger, better things.
Bigger is better.
But you can do that with the herbivores. Why are you doing it with the carnivores? It's just dumb. And then also, why is the teenage girl bringing her bare fists to a gunfight? You don't see people squaring up against somebody who has a gun unless they're on drugs, so...
Are you dumb or just stupid?
Other than that, though, I did enjoy the story. I liked the premise of them having to collect DNA samples, which is why they went went to the dinosaur island, I did really enjoy the story. There's just a couple of things that could have been better with the script if you just took a little bit more time to think about it.
That's okay, I get it.
Next is the details, which I give an 8 out of 10. I thought the details were very nice. I think maybe they could have used a little bit more practical effects, but for a Jurassic movie, it was great. Everything from the sets, to the props, to the little Easter eggs from other movies like InGen and stuff, just gave life to this world. And the dinosaurs were just as cool. Now, the big bad dino at the end seemed a little grotesque to me. It was a little bit dumb looking also, but maybe it was meant to be that way. Even so, I think they could have made it a little bit cooler, you know what I mean? But I think everything worked together very well and nothing seemed out of place, so nice job on the details. You really felt in the world with them while you were sitting in that seat. I liked it.
The attention to detail is excellent.
Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of the full review. So, here's your spoiler warning.
Spoiler alert.
And let's get into the reasons for the rating. So, this movie was a PG-13 action sci-fi movie, and considering the fact that I wished for more suspense, I think it's pretty spot on, especially with the fact that they did not call it a thriller. So, let's talk about that.
Sex, baby.
I think there was a little subtle implication to sex between the teenage girl and the boyfriend, so it may or may not have happened. So nothing on screen, basically is what I'm trying to say.
Drugs and alcohol.
Now, the boyfriend stupidly talked about having and smoking weed, again, for comedic effect. It was just kind of dumb. And I think there may have been some beer or some liquor during the poker scene.
The gross stuff.
The urination on screen, seriously, disgusting, especially since you had to listen to it. It was just uncomfortably long.
I don't want to see that or think of it again.
Also, there was a dinosaur carcass on screen that was rotting, so that was kind of gross too. You could see the intestines and junk.
Language.
This was pretty lax, considering it's a PG-13 movie in today's time. So that was pretty good for me, honestly. There were 8 S words, 2 B words, 2 D words, and 2 others.
Time for violence.
Hey, come on. This is a Jurassic Park/World movie, aka dinos go wild and kill people. It's gonna be violent. Now, I will say that it was not as violent as other Jurassic Park/World movies that I've seen. I don't even think that it crosses the top 3. But even so, people die. 8 people, to be exact. And, you know, they all died to the dinosaurs.
Nobody murdered anybody.
Also, there was a weapons expert that did shoot at dinosaurs, and there also was a guy who had a gun that did brandish it on another person but didn't actually fire it towards that other person. And there was a guy that let the teenage daughter fall off of the boat into dino-infested waters.
Oh, that's tacky.
Now, all of that to say, it's not explicitly violent on screen. The on-screen deaths were all by the dinosaurs, but it wasn't grotesque and it wasn't intense. The only intense dino death scene was when there was a guy that got chomped up by the big bad dino at the end, and then his arm fell out of the mouth and onto the ground, and you could see it still clutching something. If we're being honest, this movie is mostly about suspense and not really about the violence. But
I understand people died.
overall, I give this a 6 out of 10. This was a good and fun movie with a little bit of a lack in the script. But considering it's the 7th movie in this series, it kind of comes with the territory, right? Even though I really enjoyed this movie, I think it could have been better with a little bit more love towards the script, getting us to the action a little bit more quicker and a little bit more suspense in there. And kicking the boyfriend out completely, I really don't think his character did anything good for this movie.
Loathe entirely.
But having said all that, I would definitely see it again because come on, it's a dinosaur mayhem movie that also has Black Widow.
Wrap that up and give it to a child on Christmas, because we're done.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed the review. Make sure you comment down below your thoughts and what you want to see me review next. Also, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a review like this. If you click right here, you can see an amazing Netflix movie that needed to be in theaters. And if you click right here, you can see all of my TV and anime reviews. And if you want to see my shorts or anything else, click right here to go straight to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and just remember, right here at Candid Cinema, it's okay to talk, it's okay to text, and I will see you later. Bye!